Here we are, the cruise news at the All Things Wagner's house.
Not cruise news.
This is not cruise news. This is a special bulletin.
If you haven't ever cruised before, then you know you have a lot of questions. And here are our top 20 FAQs for new cruisers. Let's get started.
Should I buy travel insurance?
Yes, you should absolutely buy travel insurance, especially in today's world. Pre-pandemic, we still bought travel insurance, and one time we literally had to use it because he had surgery 2 weeks before cruise, and we got a 100% refund. So it really is not very expensive. It's based on the age and the price of your vacation, and it's not even questionable. Just buy it.
It's a yes. Do I need a passport to cruise?
No, you do not need a passport to cruise. However, it's very good to have one, and it's not a difficult process. It takes a few weeks now. They're caught up from the pandemic. If you are cruising out of the U.S. and back to the same port in the U.S., which is called a closed loop cruise, you do not need a passport.
Closed loop.
So what do you use instead?
Birth certificate.
Birth certificate that is certified, which means it has the bumpy stamp on it.
It's got the little cha-ching.
Or the colored red or blue or whatever stamp on it from usually a county clerk's office.
It's official.
It is official.
It's official.
So you can use a birth certificate, but it has to be that certified. It cannot be a copy, and it cannot be the little one from the hospital with the little baby feet on it. Doesn't work.
What do I do with my luggage at the port?
Well, I let my husband carry mine to the porter at the port.
That's true.
And the porter will take all of your luggage at the curb, whether a family member drops you off at the curb or whether you park off and you come in on a shuttle. The porters will be right out there in the parking lot waiting to take your luggage. And if you forget your bag tags they will even put a bag tag that tells where your cabin is on your bag. And they'll get it there for you, even if you forgot to print out your bag tag. So you can drop your luggage off, kind of like you do at the airport, at the curb.
It's better than the airport.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
So drop them off right there at the curb or wherever the porter is in the parking lot, and be sure and tip the porter. They are not employed by the cruise lines. They work for the city of Galveston or the city of Miami or the port city.
Port city.
And they work on tips.
Is the main dining room all you can eat? And I will say, hallelujah.
Get in my belly!
You do not need to worry about asking for seconds, or if there's something you don't like, you can ask for a different dish.
Change the dish.
You don't have to eat what they bring you if you don't like it. And if you love it, you can ask for seconds or thirds.
Especially on lobster night.
I knew he was going to say that.
She knew I was going to say that.
That's his favorite night.
Yes. Is there something I need to sign in the MDR, or can I just leave when I'm done?
You can just leave when you're done. Most of the items in the MDR are included. There is a section on the menu of the MDR, whether you're looking at it on your phone now, because they'll give you a QR code to scan now. You can see the menu on your phone, or you can ask for a paper menu, and you will see that there's a paid section. And there's some really nice items like JJ's favorite.
Oh.
The steak. And of course, if you don't have an unlimited drink package and you order drinks, then you'll need to pay for those. But what will happen is if you do order something that costs extra, then your main dining room server will bring you the ticket before you leave. Believe me, they'll get a hold of you before you leave. But if you just order off the regular menu in the main dining room, you finish, wipe your mouth, take a drink, leave the table.
Do I have to dress up for formal night?
No. Especially nowadays, like Royal Caribbean has changed it from being called formal night to dress your best. But different cruise lines have different suggestions, which they are all calling it now suggestions. They're not calling it requirements or mandatory.
They're making a polite recommendation.
There may be some cruise lines like Princess or Cunard, very upscale cruise lines that are more than suggestions. And that's why it's always important to go online and check your cruise line's rules.
Speaking of dress up, I fixed my hair tonight for our audience, just so they know.
Appreciate that. The main things are basically if you're not wearing flip-flops and cut-off shorts or Daisy Dukes.
No
or
bare feet.
bathing suits.
No bare feet.
Tank tops for men usually aren't allowed. Anything above that, even on formal night, quite frankly, you're not going to be kicked out. Be comfortable. If you want to dress up, dress up. If you don't want to dress up, it's your vacation. You won't be alone.
Do I need to take cash?
The only venues on a cruise ship that deal with cash are typically the casino and guest services, customer service. Everything else you're going to purchase on the ship, you will use your cruise card. You do need to bring cash for tips on the ship, as well as tips and purchases when you go off the ship into port, or tips on excursions, because there are crew on the ship that you will want to tip, like room steward, main dining room staff.
Right.
Maybe there's someone in the buffet who you see every morning.
Who takes care of you every time they see you.
And they take cash. You don't have to exchange your money when you end up in Cozumel, for instance. You don't have to go get pesos. Everybody in port will take dollars. Everybody on ship will take dollars gladly.
And if you like to negotiate as you shop, cash will help you do that. Do I need to bring a beach towel?
No. Every cruise ship has towel stations on the pool deck, and they will give you a towel, however many you need, and you will scan your cruise card so that they know you have checked out a towel. And then when you're done with the towel, you go check it back in and they scan your card again. Because if you don't return your towel,
$25.
you'll get fined.
Depending on what ship you're on, it may be more.
Yeah. Just remember to always take your towel back. Now, if you have a towel that you love and you have room in your suitcases, you can. It's not like they won't allow you to use your own towel on board. They will, but there's no need to take up room in the suitcase.
This is an easy question for me. Do I need to bring my own shampoo and conditioner?
Some people
No.
don't. They won't need to bring your own.
However,
The rest of us,
my queen,
absolutely.
Yeah.
What is in most cruise cabin bathrooms and showers is a combination body wash and shampoo. What that will result in, ladies, is probably not a good hairdo. So absolutely, I would highly recommend bringing your own shampoo and conditioner.
I have perfect hairdo.
That's true.
High speed, low drag. Do I need to bring my own hair dryer?
Some people do not. Some of the others of us will need to bring our possibly our own hair dryer. It really is your own choice. Most of the cruise lines provide a travel size hair dryer in the drawer in the cabin. Something to remember is it's not very powerful. And so if you have a difficult hairdo, or if you have really thick hair, or if you just like your own hair dryer, or if maybe you have arthritis in your hands, because the button has to be held down for the hair dryer to work. The minute you let go of the button, it goes off. Bring your own if any of those apply to you.
Can I do my own laundry?
Some of them you can, and some you cannot. For instance, Carnival has a self-service laundry. It's a cost, you put change in the machine.
It's
that
service,
you can.
yeah, per load.
Disney, same thing. They do have self-service. Their machines cost. Princess does have self-service. Their machines cost. Royal Caribbean, Norwegian, and MSC, for instance, they have no self-service laundry. They do have laundry available. They leave little bags in your cabin, and you can fill it up, and I think it's very expensive. And so
I like it.
And so we just bring our own pop-up laundry basket, which I'll put a link for in the description, and we set it in the corner of the cabin. And on the way home, we just put all of our dirty laundry on one side of a suitcase so that when we get home, we know that all goes to the laundry room.
Can I bring alcohol on board?
Yes. Carnival, for instance, allows one 750 milliliter bottle of wine. Royal Caribbean allows two 750 milliliter bottles of wine or champagne. MSC, though, allows none. Norwegian allows wine and champagne, and they do not mention how many. So
Might be
maybe
one.
you can,
Might be one each.
maybe you
don't know.
can stock up on Norwegian,
Might.
because they don't say how many bottles you can bring. You need to put that in your carry-on Don't put it in your packed luggage because it'll get broken or they'll think you're trying to sneak something on. So just put it in your carry-on. They'll check it along with their rules and they'll let you through. Also be aware that most of the cruise lines have a corkage fee. So if you want to open your own bottle in your cabin and pour it into a glass, you can walk around the ship with it. Some of the cruise lines are not enforcing the corkage fee, so they might open it for you for free in the dining room, but just be aware that there might be a corkage fee if someone else other than yourself is going to open it.
Should I buy a drink package?
That is very dependent on your alcohol drinking habits and your soda habits and your anything other than water, tea, juice, milk is going to be extra. So if we're talking about alcohol, an unlimited drink package, in other words, it completely depends on your habits. The best drink calculator I have ever seen online is on cruisely.com, and I'll put a link below. And you can put in how many drinks you think you will drink per day, and it'll tell you, wow, you're gonna lose money if you spend this much on a drink package. Or it'll say, yeah, you're a lush and you need to buy a drink package. So it's very helpful. Remember too that some days you'll be in port all day. So you won't be drinking as many drinks on board, so you won't be utilizing the drink package, you'll be in port. You just have to decide if it's worth it for you and your party according to how much you're gonna drink.
Should I buy a dining package?
There is unlimited and quite amazing food on most every cruise line in the included restaurants. So let me just start off with
Like the main dining room, for example.
Yeah, main dining room. The buffet is always included. Most of the cruise lines have restaurants on the promenade or in other spaces that are also included. So if you don't want to pay the extra for an unlimited dining package, you definitely do not have to, and you will still get amazing food. If you are a foodie, or if budget is not as much of a concern, or if you budgeted to experience everything on that ship, then I would say
go for it.
By all means,
go for it.
Some cruise lines have a dining package that includes just maybe 2 meals or 3 meals. So you may not only have to choose from the unlimited dining package. Some of them have smaller packages, and you will most always get a better price if you buy before your cruise, or if you wait until the end of the cruise when they're really trying to fill up their reservations, and they'll be coming around and bothering you. Sometimes it'll feel like that.
They're marketing.
Yeah,
They're
trying
marketing.
to sell those spaces in those restaurants.
Right.
So I'd highly recommend, if you're going to buy a package of any kind, or even just a single reservation at a restaurant, to do it beforehand. Usually during the holidays, they'll have really good sales, or do it close to the end of your sailing.
Should I do a ship excursion or a private excursion?
That is completely up to you also. There are pros and cons to each of those. If you do a ship excursion and weather or traffic or an accident or something happens and blocks you from getting back to the ship on time, the ship will wait. That's the big pro for taking a cruise line excursion. Also, on cruise line excursions, transportation is included to and from. You don't have to worry about picking up a taxi or how you're going to get there. The con is oftentimes with third-party vendors, it's less expensive, and you can go to the exact same places that the cruise line excursion is taking you for less money. Or maybe just get a taxi and head to the beach, the same beach that you would end up on the ship excursion. And then you can stay as long as you want. You don't have to depend on someone else for, when are we supposed to go? When is the ship transportation leaving? None of that is an issue. And be sure that you check your specific cruise line's protocols regarding whether you're vaccinated or not and what kind of excursions you are allowed to take.
Where can I smoke on board?
Smoking!
Generally, only areas outside that are specifically marked. So keep that in mind immediately. On most cruise lines, it's going to be the pool deck. On one side or the other of the pool deck will be marked and will have ashtrays. So
Smoking only.
Yeah, you'll clearly know. The other locations on most ships are the casino. Just make sure that you check that casino's protocols because some ships allow all kinds of smoking in all areas of the casino. Some allow only some kinds, like e-cigarettes, maybe only in this part of the casino and not all over the casino. So just be sure that you check your cruise line's protocols. All the cruise lines disallow smoking in the cabin or on the balcony. So if you get caught doing that, you're going to be charged. Might be kicked off the ship. I don't know how they treat that.
Not a good thing.
I don't know how they treat that these days. But if there is any damage, like burn marks or anything inside the cabin, most of the cruise lines are charging up to $250 for cleaning fee, damage fees. Might be even more if the damage is more. Look for the signs outdoors and sit and have your smoke. These last 3 questions are really post-pandemic specific. As of March 2022, lots of people are still asking them, so we wanted to include them for you.
The main rule to live by is to check your cruise line protocols before you sail. That's critical.
Those protocols are changing monthly, sometimes weekly.
Do I have to wear a mask?
As of March of 2022, the cruise lines have made them optional. So the CDC created a voluntary program that all of the cruise lines have opted into. They have voluntarily opted into it, and it allows them to make masks optional, and all of them have. Some of the rules are different for children depending on their age and if they're going to the child's area on your cruise ships. So make sure you ask whether your child needs to mask up in the children's area or not. Also, as of March 2022, the executive order from the President of the United States is still in effect for transportation venues. So that means in your cruise port, in your airport, and at other travel venues like bus stations and things like that.
Trains.
Right, that you still need to wear masks. They are saying as of today that will end April 18th.
I'm not going to hold my breath. Do I need to be vaccinated?
As of right now, yes, but all the cruise lines have an exemption process for medical or religious purposes. So make sure you get online, check their websites, and apply for that exemption if you need to.
Do I have to have a negative COVID test?
As of right now, yes, all adults, usually 2 to 3 days before, depends on the cruise line, and it can be antigen, which is usually called the rapid test, or a PCR, whether it's rapid or the 2 to 3 day one. Keep in mind, usually the antigen rapid test is better because you're not stressing out getting it back in time. And children 12 or older also need the test. Children under 12 who are not vaccinated have some different rules. It may be 3 days and it may be only a PCR. Again, those are changing weekly and vary cruise line to cruise line. So check out your own cruise line's website for those specific protocols. And cruise newbies are asking us all the time about what they should bring on a cruise. So check out this video right here for the top 25 cruise essentials you need to consider.
Until next time.
Be blessed.
Oh. Yeah. I'm old and forgetful. So I wrote all my questions down.